Zip it. That's it.
No, you don't speak to people.
I speak to what I want. I speak to what I want. Hang on.
No, put your hands where I can see them, okay?
Well, why would I give you my details?
Have a good day, sir.
Get lost. Get lost right now.
Welcome to UK Police Cops, where we put misconduct on display, explore police and legal content, protect rights and demand accountability.
This episode is sponsored by Auditing Britain, so check out the link below, subscribe to his channel, and show him some support. In this video, Auditor AB starts filming a police station from public property, but before he can even get started, an officer immediately confronts him and completely loses control of the whole situation. AB stays calm and explains he's just recording from a public area, which is perfectly legal. But the officer ignores him, panics, calls for backup, and keeps demanding AB's personal information, even though there's no legal reason to ask for it. When AB refuses and stands his ground, the officer actually detains him while smirking like it's all a joke. The whole thing shows a clear example of police incompetence, ego tripping, and a serious abuse of power from beginning to end.
I'm just wondering why you're outside the police station filming somebody, or me, or what my colleagues are doing inside the station.
I just literally just arrived.
Can I get another unit on the hurry to the back of the police station, please? We've got a mail, you filming, recording, and that's a bit odd. Can I just get another unit towards me, please?
You don't need...
I am going to ask you who you are.
Yeah, no, you don't need the unit. You don't need
I do?
No, you don't.
Okay, I'm just not state 12, my earpiece isn't working.
I promise you don't need another unit.
I've asked you who you are.
I won't be aggressive.
You're outside of the police station.
Hang on.
You're filming
and
recording.
I know.
You've then made some concerning comments that I'm high on.
Because you said you were high.
I didn't say I was high. At no point did I categorically say that, and everything is being recorded.
That's why you said you were high.
I'm asking you a question of who you are and why you are recording outside of the police station.
Just relax for 1 second. Okay.
You can't answer my questions. I've asked you several times.
Just relax. Oh my God. Just relax. You're talking too much without listening.
Not really.
All right, just relax for 1 second and then we'll respond to you.
Okay.
First of all, you need to relax. You don't need another unit. I won't be aggressive to you.
But I don't know who you are.
I'm just trying to make you feel at ease.
You haven't told me who you are this morning.
I'm just trying to make you feel at ease. That's it. Because you called for another unit. You don't need to.
I've asked you who you are and you can't tell me who your name is.
I'm just a member of the public, lady.
As soon as she calls for backup, any reasonable thinking goes out the window. She even admits that AB isn't being aggressive or threatening, but she still treats him like he's doing something wrong, simply because he won't give her his personal information. Her entire justification comes down to three things. He's standing outside a police station, he's filming, and she doesn't know who he is. None of these things are actually suspicious or illegal, and none of them give her any legal authority to demand anything from him. What really shows the problem here is her obsession with finding out who he is. Saying, "I don't know who you are," isn't a valid legal reason to detain someone. It's just her personal feeling of being uncomfortable. Police officers aren't allowed to escalate a situation just because someone's anonymity makes them nervous. AB isn't hiding, making threats, or running away. He's standing right there in plain sight, calmly explaining what he's doing, and simply choosing not to give information that he's not legally required to provide.
You are a member of the public, you're recording, you're outside of a police station. If I think that there's a risk to me, the public,
but there isn't.
But I don't know that, and I don't know who you are.
What makes you think that?
Because you're outside recording, you've recorded me entering into a secure area, and you've come back out.
Why? I told you you don't need another unit.
I don't know who you are, and actually I'm not very happy with your behaviour.
I know you're not happy. You're obviously not happy.
Well, I've just told you I'm not happy.
Yeah, I can see that you're not happy.
And again, I'm going to ask you your name.
But I don't want to give my name.
You don't have... Okay.
I don't know who you are.
I've just told you I'm PCM high.
You're high. Here we go. You said you're high again.
That's my name, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry.
PCM high.
Okay. I thought you were high, you said.
No. I'm going to ask you who you are. And at the moment, in fact, I am going to detain you under Section 1, going your twit. Okay? Can you just put your hands where I can see them?
Hang on.
Put your hands where I can see them, okay?
The detention happens completely out of nowhere, and the going equipped justification she uses reveals everything. That law isn't meant to be used whenever an officer doesn't like what someone's doing. It requires reasonable suspicion that a person has items specifically adapted or intended for committing theft or burglary. A camera, phone, or recording equipment doesn't even remotely qualify for this. Nothing AB is carrying has been modified, disguised, or has any connection to theft or burglary, and the officer never once explains what crime she actually thinks he's planning to commit. The smirk on her face is more important than it might seem, because it shows she knows this isn't a real threat. She's just going through the motions to feel like she's back in control of the situation. Detaining and searching someone aren't minor actions. They're serious intrusions on personal freedom that are backed by law and require real evidence and reasonable suspicion, not just an officer's hurt ego or discomfort.
You're a joker, you are.
Would you like a copy?
Yes, I do want a copy.
All right, don't shout at us.
I will shout. You just detained me and you searched me for no reason,
Now
man.
you want your footage, you're going to start shouting.
What do you mean?
You know exactly what
Of course I'm going to shout. Look what you've done. I told you many times. Please don't search me. Don't search me. You're infringing on my rights. I need to get that shoulder number again because the camera wasn't recording.
I've already given you my details.
It wasn't recording.
Wasn't my problem. You
Can I have your shoulder
I've
number?
already passed you my details.
Can I please have your shoulder number?
Already passed you my details.
There's nothing to do with it. So come
I'm
here.
getting everybody's shoulder number.
You want me to do a
Don't talk to me anymore.
That
You do that record. You do the record and you zip
While
it.
you're walking around and you won't give me.
You do the record and you zip your mouth. Hurry up.
You're being so rude.
Why am I being so rude? Can I remind you what's happened to me? In cuffs and searched for no reason. So this is why I'm being so rude.
Okay.
Yes. So now I need that record ASAP. She had no reasonable grounds to do so. I've explained that to him.
It's her search.
To him. I've explained it to her. I don't even have a name for her. Look at her. So many times. But no, they continued with this. She tried to take my fingerprint as well.
Under UK policing rules, officers are required to identify themselves when asked. If AB forgets the officer's number, doesn't hear it clearly, or his camera gets bumped and misses it, that doesn't let the officer off the hook. They still have to provide their identification. When an officer says, "not my problem," they're basically choosing not to be held accountable for their actions. You can't use your power to detain someone and then refuse to identify yourself afterward. As for the handcuffs, they were completely unnecessary in this situation. There was no safety threat that would justify restraints, and nothing about AB's behavior required any kind of physical control. Using handcuffs in this case wasn't about protecting anyone, it was about punishing AB for not cooperating the way the officer wanted.
Why didn't you try to do the right thing?
What do you
I've
mean,
explained to you that I was recording, I was detained, section 1.
Okay.
Why didn't you try and stop him from doing this?
sir? It's
Just
her
answer me.
search. It's for her to justify.
But you could talk her out of it.
When she creates this stop search form,
Yeah.
it sets you for grounds, and in there it'll explain why you were detained. Okay?
The grounds I was recording?
I don't know what the grounds were.
I know you don't, but I've explained them to you.
What's your YouTube channel?
Shut up.
You want to tell us?
Shut up. That's what it is.
Charming, isn't it?
Yeah, charming. A minute ago, you were acting like a tyrant. Now you're acting like some nice guy.
I'm acting like...
You moved me from there to your car, and I asked you. I said, "Don't do it.
I'm really sorry that I offered you a seat.
I don't want your smelly seat. I don't want your stinky seat. We have the right to record in public. We have the right." Give it a laugh. You want to take my fingerprint? Are you like nuts?
If I've made a mistake, then I'm sorry.
Sorry?
I've been nothing but...
Sorry, it's too late. I was trying. I will shout as much as I like. Zip it. Zip it. That's it.
No, you don't speak to people.
I speak to what I want. I speak to what I want.
Continue to shout. I'm going to arrest you.
You
for public
infringe on my rights.
Okay, we can agree.
I know
to
you're
disagree,
dying
but
to
you do
arrest
not
me.
need to be rude and
I
disrespectful.
can be rude. You infringe
Stop
on my
shouting.
rights. You infringe on my rights. You shouting now.
Stop shouting.
Why are you shouting?
I'm not shouting.
Yes, you are shouting.
My voice isn't going.
Yes, you are
above yours.
shouting.
You're the only one shouting.
You're not looking good right now.
Jump in my car and do your form and I'll...
Yeah, jump in his car and do your form and zip it.
AB getting upset and raising his voice doesn't suddenly make it a public order offense. Being angry and speaking loudly after your rights have been violated isn't causing disorder. It's a normal human reaction. Public order laws exist to deal with actual harm, like harassment, alarm, or distress caused to other people, not to shut someone up just because they're challenging what a police officer is doing. There's no crowd around, no victims being affected, and no situation getting out of control. It's just words. What completely exposes the officer's hypocrisy is that she's shouting too, actually louder than AB, and she has the power of her authority backing her up. If just raising your voice was enough to justify an arrest, then by her own logic, she should be arresting herself.
And I know that's section 1 that you used, unlawfully, you will get a civil claim against you. Do you understand? Today, it's going to be a lesson for you and them that you won't do it again. I promise you. And if you haven't heard of Audit in Britain yet, you have today. I can't believe you just done that. Where do you live? You live like in Mars? Seriously? You just came out like this. You put cuffs on me? What the hell is wrong with you? Oh, well, listen, I was calm for the beginning. I tried to make her feel relaxed. I tried to tell her, look, I won't do anything. I didn't make any sudden moves. She still put me in cuffs. Tyrant. And she's twisting them every 5 seconds. You're a horrible person, I tell you that now. Aim high. You shouldn't be in the force. I will tell you that right now. And you, next time, before knowing what's happening, you should not act. Just find out. Don't put me in your stupid car.
Again, I apologise for offering you a seat. Next time
I asked you, I asked you, I said I'm claustrophobic. You've ignored that.
You did not tell me that until you were in the car.
I did. But I told your mates. I said to you, I'm detained over there. Leave me over there. You're supposed to leave me where I'm detained. No. You detain me in the spot. You leave me in the same spot. Yes, that's how it works.
AB is absolutely right to challenge this because the officer's actions are legally wrong. Being detained is not the same thing as being arrested, and it doesn't automatically give the police the right to put you in a vehicle and drive you somewhere. When someone is detained for a search, it's supposed to happen right there at the spot where they were stopped, or very nearby, unless there's a clear and necessary reason to move them, like immediate danger, a blocked area, or some environmental problem that makes it impossible to stay there. None of those reasons exist in this situation, and police can't just throw someone in a car because it's easier or more convenient for them. Moving someone without actually arresting them crosses the line between a simple detention and putting them in custody, and that's exactly why the law is very careful about when and how that's allowed to happen. But this officer is ignoring all of that because she wants control and doesn't care about following proper legal procedure.
You kidnapped me for 5 seconds.
For the 4th time,
you kidnapped me.
For offering you a seat.
You kidnapped me. You offered me a seat. I didn't want a stinky seat.
Well, yeah, you've told us that repeatedly.
Yes. So why did you put me in the car?
And then I got you straight out of the car when you told us that.
Listen, next time, because of our stupid judgment, you screwed up as well.
All right.
That's what it is. You should at least find out what's happened and try and sort her out of it.
And have I sorted it? Yes.
You searched me.
Yeah, because you've been detained.
I begged you to not search me.
Cuffs off you straight away.
I said to you, think again, but you continued and searched me. So you infringed on my right further.
Okay.
She detained me. She put me in cuffs.
Yeah.
And then you came. You searched me.
Yeah.
So
She's female, so she wouldn't search your mail, would she?
Yeah, but you infringed on my rights.
Okay.
Yes.
Again, you can put that.
You did.
In. I've not.
She wasn't interested in searching me. She was interested in my ID.
Okay. And have we got that? No. What happened?
No.
So
yeah, but she threatened me. I'm going to take you to the NIC. Yeah. Nah. Yeah. Your mistake.
Yes.
Your mistake. Under the circumstances, anybody would give up. Anybody would give up.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, because I know my rights. It's not going to happen, is it? You don't know your section. A minute ago when I said section 24, you did this smirk on your face like you know the laws. And now you made a mistake about section 1.
Copy of your section.
Silly joker.
There you go. Because it's obviously says refused because you didn't provide your details, but that's
What's the refuse? Oh, well, don't give you my details.
Have a good day, sir.
Get lost. Get lost right now. Bye.
It's my police station.
Oh, Kurt, I've just noticed that taser now. They gave you a taser?
Watching how easily and quickly she jumped to detaining him, putting him in handcuffs and threatening arrest is disturbing. And the fact that she's authorized to carry a taser isn't comforting. It's actually scary because someone who misuses basic powers this quickly can't be trusted with weapons that could seriously hurt or kill someone. This whole situation isn't just one bad choice, it's a chain reaction of panic and poor judgment, where from the moment she calls for backup, everything she does is driven by her own discomfort and frustration, not by AB's actual behavior. AB is just standing there calmly filming, but he becomes a problem in her mind because she can't control the situation. So when he won't give her his details, she escalates things. When she can't justify her suspicion, she makes something up. And when she can't win the argument with words, she grabs for physical control. Each step isn't based on any new information or evidence, it's just her reacting to the fact that her previous tactic didn't work. And what makes this especially disturbing is that she seems to be enjoying it. The smiling while detaining him, the casual way she puts on the handcuffs, the shouting, the threats, none of it looks like she's reluctantly doing her job or being careful, but instead looks like someone who's discovering how much power they can abuse and getting a kick out of it. This situation didn't just show incompetence, it revealed her temperament and personality, and that's far more dangerous than just not knowing the law. That's it for today's video, and if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because it really helps me keep making this independent content. And also, make sure to check out Auditing Britain, because his channel is linked in the description, so go show him some support. Thanks for watching, this was UK Police Cops, and I'll see you in the next one.